guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Angela, and in today's video I am going to be talking about tips for how to save money. I've been a huge proponent of saving money ever since I was young, but I've also had some pretty bad spending habits that I've had to change. So in today's video, I'm going to share with you guys some of these tips for how I save money, because it's really not about how much you earn, it's really about how much you save. So tip number one, stop convenience spending. What I mean by convenience spending is spending money on an Uber or spending money on a coffee. Yes, an Uber ride might only be 10 minutes versus 20 minutes of taking the subway or 30 minutes of walking, but an Uber is also maybe $15 compared to your $2.75 on the subway ride or your $0 cost just walking. All you save is those extra 10 to 15 minutes of getting ready in your house, but is it really worth it? It might not seem that much for a one-time cost, but if you keep adding it up, if you do it 10, 15, 20 times throughout the span of 365 days, it ends up being a few $100s. The same thing with coffee or a smoothie. I'm from New York City, and buying a smoothie is pretty expensive. It's like $12. It's literally blended frozen fruit. Go get your frozen fruit from Trader Joe's for like $3 a pack, and you can make 5 smoothies out of those, and it tastes the same. Don't give in to convenience. Simply just do it yourself, spend a little bit more time, but you end up saving so much more money at the end of it. 2, buy your staples in bulk. Whenever I buy trash bags for my apartment, detergent, dishwasher soap, and pods, I always buy in bulk. That stuff doesn't really go bad. You can just keep it for the next 1 or 2 years, so why buy such a small pack when you can just buy a huge one and continue to use it? Staples are something that you have to use every day and that you already know you'll need a lot of, and in general, they don't really have expiration, so just buy a bunch, store it into a closet, and you'll always have a supply of it. Next, the 1-week rule. So if you guys have heard about it, it's generally called the 30-day rule, where you wait 30 days before you actually buy something to figure out if you want it. I'm going to just limit it to 1 week. It really depends on how expensive this item is, but for non-necessities, if you're thinking of buying that new pair of earrings, those new pair of headphones, those new sweats that just came out, those new sneakers that just dropped, give yourself a week and think about whether you actually want it, whether you want to spend your money on it, and if you still want it after a week, then go ahead and get it. Extend this time for if a product is more expensive, and decrease it for products that are less expensive. Number 4, save money on social events. It can be expensive to hang out with friends and do social events. A lot of things cost money. Even just eating out costs money. But if you're living in a city, look up what free things there are to do around you. Maybe you can go to a museum on a free day. You can go out of the city and go hiking. You can do a picnic in the park. You can invite your friend over, or you can go over as well, make drinks together. There are tons of things that you can do for a low price. Try to plan your day around these free things rather than having all of these bills continue to rack up. Number 5, try to decrease the cost of your rent. This can be something that's really difficult if you're living in an expensive city like San Francisco, New York. If you're living in Hong Kong, Singapore, Shanghai, all of those are super expensive to live in, and I know it can be really difficult, but try to negotiate best you can when you're getting an apartment. Look at all of the options, make sure to visit the apartment before you get it, and really examine how you can get the best price. Rent is a very expensive recurring expense, and you want to minimize that as much as you can, while obviously still living in a place that you're comfortable with. And another thing that I've learned is that when you're not staying at your apartment or you're not staying at your house for a long period of time, you'll go on vacation, or you'll be with family, or you'll work from somewhere else, and you'll be away for maybe a month. You can sublet that place out for a month and earn a lot of money back on what would have been just an empty apartment. 6, try to save money on food best you can. I always try to avoid paying for delivery food. This is because, 1, I love the experience of actually eating out, and I feel that if I'm not having the experience of eating at a restaurant, why am I paying for that same food to be delivered to my home when I can just cook it? Secondly, if you're considering eating out, consider cooking at home too. Yes, eating out is nice and great for special occasions. I'm really not someone to speak because I love eating out and it's something that's very special to me. But if you can, try to cook at home too. Think of new recipes, buy groceries instead rather than eating out because you end up saving a ton. And something else that I've been doing since young when I go grocery shopping with my parents is that we plan our meals around what's on sale at the grocery store. A lot of you guys might know this, but a lot of grocery stores give out these pamphlets of things that are on sale for that week or that month. And there's probably hundreds of products on there, so I kind of just plan my recipes and think of recipes that I could make based off of what's on sale. You really get a good selection of meals and recipes to go along with those. Number 7, try to limit your subscriptions. Subscriptions are again another recurring expense, and you want to try and limit those as much as you can. So one way to do that is to share these subscriptions. Do a T-Mobile family plan, get Spotify and share it with friends. Do the same with Netflix. Try and split these costs so if you really need it, you're not spending so much every month on them. It might seem like maybe $15, $20 per month, but it really builds up throughout the years. Buy clothes that are on sale and off season. To caveat this point, one thing that I've learned when I was young that was a bad money habit was just buying things purely when they were on sale. Whenever there was a sale, I was all for it. It's 50% off. Even if I didn't need it, I would be scrolling along the website and looking for something to buy. But I've learned that's something that you shouldn't be doing. However, there are a lot of stores where their clothes just always go on sale. For example, Urban Outfitters. I've learned to just never buy anything for full price on there because everything just ends up going on sale anyway for like 20% of the original price. Pay yourself first. For me, I put money into my 401k. I try to max it out to the full 19.5k, as well as maxing out my Roth IRA to the full 6k every year. Put money into a savings account, invested. Pay yourself first before having money left to pay the bills and do other stuff. Obviously, budget accordingly. If you're making a certain amount per month and you need this amount for rent, obviously don't take out loans just to pay off this rent and save it. You need to be able to understand what is a necessity that you have to pay, like rent and your electricity bill, what is not a necessity and what can change, like eating out and buying new clothes, and putting all of that into a savings account so that you're working off of a smaller amount and you're budgeting off of a smaller total, and so you don't spend as much. Anyway guys, I hope you guys found these tips helpful. As always, please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that bell to turn on notifications so you know whenever I post a new video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!